In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on October 30th, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Miami Dolphins versus Detroit Lions. It's an interconference battle on the gridiron as a pair of teams hoping to put one in the win column to improve their standing in their respective playoff pictures collide in the Motor City. The Miami Dolphins are on the road as they make the trip to face the Detroit Lions Sunday afternoon. Miami prevailed 16-10 at home against Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football last week to snap a 3-game skid. They failed to cover the line as a 7-point favorite. Detroit was drubbed 24-6 on the road by Dallas last Sunday, failing to cover as a 7-point underdog in the contest. In the all-time regular season series between the teams, the Dolphins own a 7-5 advantage, but the Lions have won the last 3 meetings. That includes a 32-21 road victory in the most recent matchup on October 21, 2018. Miami is 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games overall and 0-7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games in October, while the under is 9-2 in their last 11 Week 8 matchups. Detroit is 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games in October and 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 home games, while the under is 7-2 in their last 9 games following an against the spread loss. Miami is going to capitalize on a cursed Detroit team. Tua is back in action, and his protection is going to be a 150% effort on the Dolphins' front line. 0 picks in the last game means less pressure in the QB slot. Combined with the Dolphins' running game, there will be a significant opportunity to capitalize on the weak Lions' defense. The Lions' rushing defense has allowed 977 yards and 12 touchdowns in 6 games. The Lions may not be able to break their losing streak, as they are 0-9 against the spread in their last 9 games in Week 8, and they are 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games in October. There is some critical exhaustion to break through that even a friendly crowd at Ford Field can break. This clunker is headed for the shop. Detroit has played really bad offensively in their last 2 games and will try to break out of that slump at home. Miami got out to a fast start in their last game, but wasn't able to score after halftime. The Dolphins should have a field day against the worst defense in the NFL, so the Miami Dolphins to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Miami comes in with the under hitting in 5 of their last 7 games on the season. While all 4 of their home games have stayed under the total, the Dolphins have gone over in 2 of their 3 road contests. Miami posted a combined 80 points in their win over Baltimore, 42 points in their loss at Cincinnati, and 57 points in their loss at the Jets. Detroit comes in having seen the over hit in 4 of their 6 games, including all 3 of their home contests. The Lions posted combined totals of 73 points against the Eagles, 63 against Washington, and 93 points against the Seahawks. Seeing how Detroit can score and struggles defensively, plus Miami's recent woes on the defensive side of the ball, this game ends up going past the total number. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Las Vegas Raiders versus New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints play host to the Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday afternoon in a crucial showdown from Caesars Superdome. The Raiders only have 2 wins on the season, though have continued to look like a dangerous team when everything is aligning. For the Saints, back-to-back losses have them searching and trying to get back into the win column as they return home. The last team these met was back in 2020, with the Raiders coming away with the 10-point win, though this rematch could certainly go either way. The Raiders are 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 road games and 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games in October. The Saints are 7-1 against the spread in their last 9 games in Week 8 and 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games overall. The over is 4-0 in Raiders' last 4 games overall. The over is 4-0 in Saints' last 4 games overall. The team of Carr and Jacobs is one of the best in the league. Both pass and rush threaten defense, and now the Raiders are deploying this with regularity. Josh Jacobs ranks 3rd in rushing yards yards and is tied for second in total touchdowns in the league, with a whopping 7.2 yards per carry. The Raiders are top 10 quality rushing in the league with 128.5 yards per game. The Raiders have a comfortable 27 points per game, while the Saints are 26th ranked with 25 points per game. If New Orleans continues to drop the ball and throw interceptions, they will lose this game by a couple of touchdowns, and they will continue to do so. Statistically, the Saints fumble 5 times more than the Raiders. The Saints are the worst team in the league when it comes to lost turnovers, at 16 for the season so far. There's no doubt the Las Vegas Raiders are the better team that's shown more life this season. The Raiders have one of the better offenses in the league, and all 4 of their losses have been decided by one possession. A bounce here or a bounce there, and the Raiders are sitting with a more favorable record. The New Orleans Saints just can't get out of their own way, and their defense is getting worse, as it's now 31st in scoring. Playing at home these last 2 years also hasn't helped much. Watch for the Saints to continue to bobble and fumble, and the Raiders faithful, in their black and silver spikes and shoulder pad costumes, to wreck Bourbon Street. They are Raiders, after all. Las Vegas should have a field day against the Saints defense, so the Las Vegas Raiders to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both offenses rank in the top 10 in scoring, and both defenses rank near the bottom of the league in scoring defense, setting up the perfect opportunity for a high-scoring affair. Additionally, the over is 4-0 for the Saints in their last 4 games, while it's also 4-0 for Las Vegas in their last 4 games overall. This matchup could end up being one of the highest-scoring games of the weekend, and with 2 teams squaring off that need a win and will be focused on the offense to make that happen, it's likely to be enough to create an explosive and exciting game. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Arizona Cardinals versus Minnesota Vikings. The Arizona Cardinals travel to Minnesota on Sunday to take on the Vikings in a critical NFC matchup. The Cardinals finally pulled out a win at home last Thursday night over the Saints and are now 3-4. Minnesota, fresh off a bye, come in with 4 straight wins and sit atop the NFC North, 3 games ahead of the Packers in the loss column. The Cardinals are 16-5-1 against the spread in their last 22 in October and 20-8-2 against the spread in their last 30 road games. Arizona is 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 after a win. Meanwhile, the Vikings are 2-6 against the spread in the last 8 in October and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 overall. Minnesota is 2-8 against the spread versus a team with a losing record. The Minnesota Vikings can be a troubling team to invest in when it comes to picks against the spread. They are 2-4 this season and are 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 games coming off a bye week. However, this is a new regime with Kevin O'Connell replacing Mike Zimmer at the helm, so the past might not be as relevant here. Meanwhile, the Cardinals are 4-3 against the spread this season and 3-1 against the spread on the road. Does the trend hold this week with the Vikings favored at home by 4? Most people will look at last week's Arizona game and get pretty hyped about their offense. DeAndre Hopkins returned to action, and Kyler Murray force-fed him 14 targets, by far and away more than any Cardinals receiver had seen from Murray at any point this season. On top of that, Eno Benjamin looks explosive as he continues to replace James Conner in the backfield. The Vikings rank 21st in DVOA against both the run and the pass, but keep in mind that they've allowed just 6 passing touchdowns on the season, and their offensive line is not only dealing with a variety of injuries, but also doesn't match up well against the Vikings' front 7. Arizona's defense has done well against the run this season and could limit Dalvin Cook, but against the pass, they rank 27th in DVOA as they allow almost 260 passing yards per game and have given up 12 touchdowns through the air. This Vikings offense is built to throw, and containing the likes of Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen may just be too much for them to handle. O'Connell has had 2 weeks to get his team prepared for this game, and it will show on the field. So the Minnesota Vikings to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Cardinals are coming off their highest scoring output of the season, albeit with 2 defensive touchdowns. The Vikings are 3-1 to the over at home this season. Both teams will likely be putting the ball in the air in this matchup, and the 2 teams are ranked 25th and 28th in passing defense. With 2 weeks of film in which to work with, I expect the Vikings offense to exploit the Cardinals secondary in this matchup. I like this one to be a shootout in Minnesota. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.